for you guys that are asking or need help with that. It won't be a full install video since I did do it a long time ago, but like I said, I'll go over the parts that I used and how I did it, and hopefully that will help you guys out. If you have any other questions or anything like that, just let me know down below in the comments. Also, thanks to all the new subscribers, likes and comments, and if you're new to the channel, let me know down below under the comments box. Alright, here we go. So I'll just show you a quick view right now, and I'll go ahead and remove the front wheel so we can look at the suspension parts better, and also on the rear. So as you can see right here, the control arms, they're too crowded, so I'll have to do that right now real quick. And then for the rear, you can just see part of the suspension. Like I said, I'll try to jack it up and get closer shots and explain the parts that I got and what I have to do to make them work. But basically you can see some of the parts from under the Panhard bar and all the end links and stuff like that. So I'll do that real quick. Alright, so to drop the front to 5 inches, I did start off by doing a 3-inch lowering control arms in the bottom. You can't really tell right here, but it's these right here. They go all across through the bottom. That'll drop at 3 inches. These trucks come with torsion bars, but with the control arm, you won't have to do that. So I don't know if you can see back here, the torsion bar goes inside. So you can keep your keys stock however they are, and you don't have to cut the bump stops or anything like that. So mine's are stock right there. They're just shorter, but I mean, you still have some. And I did do the lowering, well, the shorter shocks, and these are by Djm also. They're white shorter shocks. And to get a better alignment, I did do the upper control arms as well. So these top ones right here, and then they come with a replacement ball joint. And that does a 3-inch drop. I mean, you don't need the upper control arms for the drop, you just need the bottom ones. That'll give you the 3-inch. And the shorter, well, you can actually keep the stock shocks, but I replace them with shorter ones, but you can keep them. And then to get the additional 2 inches, I did do spindles in the back, and they're by McCoy's. I don't know if you can tell right here. You can probably see it a little bit. They're not that visible, but they go behind the wheel hub, or the wheels. But that'll give you the additional 2 inches for a total of 5, and that'll pretty much drop your front end 5 inches. There are some things they can do, I mean, you know, to get a better ride, like the upper control arms, they can get better camber, or, you know, no negative camber, because you're gonna wear out your tires. And then like shorter end links right here, these you can get them in like AutoZone and stuff. And I'll try to link the parts on the screen right now also for the control arms and for the spindles. And as you can see right here also, I did add these. So I did replace these, are the Heim joints from Michigan Metal Works. And it's basically like a bump steer kit, so that you're replacing your tie rod and getting it at a correct angle, because originally they come from the top and then these are flipped. So whenever your truck is dropped, they'll be straight and they don't stress out the joint right there. And whenever you do the Heim joints right here, you will have to drill onto your spindle with a 5/8 drill bit, I believe, because the stock hole won't fit on it. So you'll just drill it out. It's not that bad, it's pretty simple. And then that'll give you the right space for the nut and bolt to go through it. And yeah, that'll be pretty much it. Now, they are really good. As far as the company, I mean, I bought them and they shipped them out and it was all good, but I did also buy some upper control arms and they sent them too big. That's why I ended up keeping these Djm. But I had bought some from Michigan Metal Works, and then they were supposed to shorten them because they were too long, and then I never got them back, so I'm still waiting on that. And I don't know if that doesn't seem like good customer service, so I might not be buying anything else from them. But I mean, if you can get the parts, yeah, I mean, they seem like good quality parts, but I'm not sure about their customer service anymore. But that does the 5-inch drop right there. And I did have to do some other things just to get it to work good, like clearance and all that stuff. As you can tell right here, I don't have no windshield water reservoir anymore, because whenever the wheel turns, it'll hit right here, so it's all blank. And I took all my fender lining and all that stuff, and I did have to like shave and stuff, you know, like remove stuff in the way. Like right here, the parking brake, you know, I recessed it back because originally it was like around over here, and then now it's all zip tied all back. And you can tell where the tires rub, because this truck is not tubbed, and I do want to tub it later, but I mean, it works like that. You can just see where it rubs. It's metal right there because I took all the plastic off. But I mean, if you have a smaller wheel, you shouldn't really have those issues. It's just because I had put like big wheels on it. It was like 28s and right now 26s. But for not being tubbed, I think that's pretty good. So let me know what you guys think. Comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll show you the back right now. Alright, so this is what it looks like when I let the jack down. So back here, like I said, to get the 7-inch rear drop, I did have to use lowering springs. You can see the springs right here. They look like stock springs because I mean they're just black powder coated, or you know. But as you can tell, I don't know if you see right here, there's no isolators. They're just sitting on the metal bracket. So that gives you the additional drop, because these are 6-inch drop springs, but without that rubber isolator, you gain more drop. And these are really good. They don't squeak or anything just by sitting on the metal, so you're fine like that. If you want to put the isolator, it'll raise it up a little bit more, or you can get like 1-inch spacers. I'll show you those also. So basically, like on the left, you'll see like a stock spring, and then on the right side, you can tell right here, these are like stock isolators that'll come on the springs on the top and bottom where they sit. And like I said, if you remove these with your drop springs, you'll get extra drop, because if you can tell right here, once you add them up, they're pretty thick. They're like 1/2 inch combined, so you'll get that much drop, because this is a 1-inch spacer right here, and then that's a stock isolator. So yeah, that's a big difference. Like I said, like let's say if you don't want it that low, or for some reason you want to go higher, you can purchase the 1-inch spacers to lift it back up. And then these are made by Beltec, also lifts the part number. But these are basically it, and they'll go in between, you know, the rubber, the spacer, and then your spring, and another rubber on top. But if you want the most drop, then you'll remove all this, you know, the factory rubber spacers. Like I said, even without your rubber isolators, like the truck will ride real smooth, quiet, and it's not gonna squeak or anything like that with these springs. I did contact NorCal and asked him about it, and he says yeah, it was fine. And I mean, I've had them for a while, I've never heard any squeaking or anything like that, and they ride real smooth like factory and stuff like that, or even better since it's lower. But that's as far as the 6-inch drop springs. And like I said, if you remove all that, you'll get the extra drop. And then I mean, if you have like a system or anything like that, that's even more, because the truck will sit lower. Now when you do change your springs out to the lower springs, you will have to cut your factory bump stop brackets right up in here. You can tell I just chopped it up. And like some people do a better job, but they're not there anymore. You can see it's empty, because you'll need that clearance, or it's gonna bottom out on both sides. But yeah, like they're not there anymore. I don't have any, and then I mean, it doesn't really bottom out, so it's cool. But you'll get all that extra clearance, and it rides smooth. You won't have no issues right there. I'll see if I can put a better picture if I find it online, or get a better shot, because right here is pretty crowded. But I did have to do that. Like I said, cut that bump stop bracket and remove the bump stop. After 3 inches, if you're like 3 inches and above, then you're good. But 4-inch, 5-inch, 6-inch, 7, you do have to remove it. There's no C-notch or anything like that. So after that, I did have to do the shock extenders. As you can see down here in the bottom, these red ones, and then shorter shocks. These are Djm shocks. I just painted them black, but they were in white. And like I said, I'll link all the parts and put them up on the screen. So yeah, that'll give you a 6-7 inch drop in the rear. Like I said, you'll need those springs. That'll drop it, cutting the bump stop, and then the shock extenders, because they're gonna be too long. So you can do shock extenders, the bracket down here, or you know, buying just shorter shocks. I decided to do the extenders and the shorter shocks so it can be at a better angle. That'll pretty much drop it, but to do it right, you'll also need these end links right here on your sway bar. As you can tell right here on the driver's side, the shorter end link is all straight, and then on the passenger side, it does have like an offset, and that's because it's made for this truck, so it's got the angle for the length of the sway bar. So they're not just like universal, and like I said, I mean, I'll link the part down here, because if you leave the stock ones, it'll work, but whenever you remove a tire or jack up the truck up and down, or if it jumps too high, the springs can pop out of their pocket because those end links from the factory are too long. So that's why I did have to change them. As you can see, these right here, they're made by Djm, and I'll post a link on it, or the model number. So yeah, left and right on your sway bar, and that'll keep the springs from popping out. As you can see right here, the gray one, and on this one, I might have to change mine later on because it is missing right here, one of the little inserts for the grease, because they are greasable. But I mean, it works. I don't hear it squeaking or anything. But that'll do like for your drop right there. Other than that, to make it even better, as you can see right here, I do have the metal Spohn Performance sway bar. And this one basically is just used to center your axle. So if you get pretty low, or if you have really big wheels and your drop, you know, it's like a 7-inch drop like mine's, you'll see that sometimes the tire will go to the left or to the right, and with this, it's adjustable right in the middle with this nut. So you can move it to the left or right and then center your axle. And then that'll have you all centered up. I mean, but if you have small wheels, you won't notice it too much, except only when you have like big wheels, you'll notice it a lot. And also the lower rear control arms, these down here, also made by Spohn. I'll show you on the other side, you can see it better. So there it is, the same brand and stuff. Like I said, they go through the bottom. There's the other side right here. So left and right, lower control arms. So yeah, they are adjustable, and you can adjust them from right here in the front. They also have a nut, so you can move your wheel either forward or back. But usually if you're getting dropped, your wheel is gonna go forward, so you want to push the wheels back. And those bottom control arms are only used to center your wheel into the wheel well. Because when you drop it real low, the wheel will start trying to go forward. I'll see if I can also post a picture, because when I had 28s, and you could see that the wheel was almost touching like right here. It was real close, and in the back, the space was real big. But with those, you just adjust it, and you can have it all centered so it'll look better. So that's basically what I used right there. But if you just want to get a 7-inch drop in the rear, I mean, you don't necessarily need every little thing that I have right here. That would just be like, you know, like a correct way or a good way to do it. But if you just want to get by, or do it like, you know, a little bit cheaper, or do part by part, I mean, basically what you want to do to start, at least, you know, you definitely will need the 6-inch drop springs. And I recommend these are, because like I said, these are very smooth and quiet, and they ride real good. If you get some other ones, I mean, I'm not gonna be sure on the ride quality or anything like that, but these are very good. But the springs, for sure, also cutting your rear bump stop brackets in here for that clear, so you don't bottom out. the shorter end links, like these DJM, the shorter end links, because you don't want your springs popping out whenever you drive over a hump or anything like that, or going to change a tire and then, you know, it'll pop out, because I've had that before. And then also either shorter shocks in the rear or the shock extenders with your stock shocks, or both, you know, shock extenders and shorter shocks. That'll get you the drop back here. Other than that, I mean, you can do later on the Panhard bar and the lower control arms to center them out, especially if your wheels are not that big. I mean, you should be good. But like I said, that's basically it right there.